People deluded, I'm back again. We say, Mo, thank you for having me again. Now, in relation to our defeat against Chelsea, I don't really know what to say, man. Nothing that our fans haven't seen before. Granted, it was different individuals who made the mistakes today, but as you lot know, it's different ish, same toilet firmly in that regard. It's going to be same way lot this week. It was Saka and Tini who could have done better defensively as well as Pablo Marie. Last week it was Ben White and Callum Chambers. Next week it's going to be someone else. My point is not to catch anyone out or lay the blame game at anyone. My point is that we've just got several bad habits in and among this team. Yes, we was dealt a short hand today, obviously with several injuries and things, but there should be a baseline performance. Obviously there's no positives. We didn't lose by the scoreline we thought we might have going into the game, or definitely what the whole rhetoric was around the club. We lost 2-0, but the same way, we didn't. In the same way we didn't when we lost to Brentford, we didn't see why they got promoted from winning the playoff finals. We didn't get to see why Chelsea are European champions, and it's through no fault of Chelsea. They were quality. They did what they needed to do. But the fundamental fact is teams like playing against us. People relish playing against us for whatever individual and collective reason. And they're starting to realize they don't need to, not that they're asking for complacency, but teams don't need to be at 100% against us because we don't manage the game well from a collective point of view, from an individual point of view. You saw Reece James bombing down that right hand side way before he actually scored or assist. Nobody arrest that issue. Pablo Marie got pulled from pillar to post today, and you have to wonder. I know we was dealt a shorthand with injuries and things, and I know that's not an excuse. That is a fact. But at the same time, when Mikel Arteta is looking at his squad in August, he needs to account for injuries. That means everybody in that squad, whether they're the better centre halves or the lesser ones, squad players or regulars, if something happens like what we've seen with COVID and people being injured, you can be relied upon at whatever moment. Now there's never a perfect time to get injuries, much less at this start of the season, much less against the European champions. But you have faith in Pablo Marie. And I don't want to be the guy, but you're asking potentially now you have to ask. I don't think David Luiz should have stayed. But you ask yourself, why didn't you give a new deal to David Luiz? Why didn't Saliba play? Why potentially didn't another centre half come in? If you didn't believe in Pablo Marie, because I struggle to wonder how this isn't Mikel Arteta's squad anymore. There's not a single player he hasn't said I want or I don't want within the team now, whether he's bought them or not. The ones he hasn't has been flushed out, or their futures are going to be resolved. Again, it's not positive. The facts speak for themselves. We've got no points on the board. We've not kept any clean sheets. We've not scored. You can't really see what we're trying to do from a playing point of view. Again, it doesn't get any easier. We've got a game midweek and then we've got City. It's just same old, really and truly. I liked how Lokonga played, but it's just individual mistakes, really. We didn't look good enough on the transition. We didn't learn our lessons actually from when we played Chelsea first time around in pre-season. We on the counter attack, Chelsea could have scored a lot more. Again, there was even an incident. We had 6 defenders because I was doing a watch along. We had 6 defenders. They had 3 attackers, and the odds were still in their favour. Mason Mount put a ball in, I believe, and I think Havertz tried to header it, and he took it off Lukaku. They could have scored a lot more today, if I'm completely honest. I mean, it's incredible naiveties, and I'm not expecting us to play perfect, but you're struggling to really realize what we're trying to do as a club, what we're working in day on, day out in training, what we've been working on in pre-season, where we're going, because you just want some building blocks. You just want something to cling on to. Yes, we lost to Chelsea today, but can I see a byproduct of something that's been improving week in, week out? No, I can't. Again, hopefully we do something in the transfer market. I can't imagine we do anything of significance purely because surely we've spent our majority outlay, but something needs to change. Something needs to get arrested. It's the same old, same old. Not really an idea what we're doing in the final third. Inconsistencies over set pieces. We don't do anything with them. Not really any ideas. We look quite rigid. Not really, Xhaka wasn't the worst player on the football field, and I think Lokonga was quite good, but our midfield, there's still a lot of question marks. Our playing out from the back isn't the best. Still a lot of question marks over how Arteta views certain players as well, because again, it doesn't look like we're light on options at fullback suddenly. And I'm not criticizing Cedric starting, but Cedric has started. Can any Arsenal fan confidently say they might see him? They might see him in 2 more weeks from now, or they might see him a month from now. It's quite bewildering. You don't really know who's a squad player, who's a regular, where they stand in this squad. There's, much like the whole team, there's a lot of inconsistencies. But we lost. All we can do is learn from it, hopefully, and move on. It is what it is in that regards.